Y'all with me? And it was good for us to tell you the truth, because when I stepped back in the head biggest gym and I haven't been there, it brought back so much memory.
Y'all don't even know Calvin for CCO. I know Calvin, you know what I mean?
It is unclear whether the decision of a majority draw between Gervonta TankDavis and Lamont Roach Jr. will be overturned. This situation has unexpectedly caused a split between Tank and his coach, Calvin Ford, especially due to what happened in his corner during the fight. Tank's performance against Roach was chaotic, and the result clearly reflected that. However, regarding Calvin Ford's departure, the WBA lightweight champion has now responded.
When we first started off, and him seeing all us working together, he was happy. And at the end of the day, what it's about.
Interestingly, Coach Calvin Ford reacted after Lamont Roach's team and the New York State Athletic Commission announced a possible overturn of the match result. Dan Raphael of Fight Freaks Unite reported on Tuesday that Roach Jr.'s lawyer, Greg Smith, sent a 4-page letter to New York State Athletic Commission Executive Director Matt Meow. Raphael also stated that Smith is urging the commission to change the majority draw into a win for Roach Jr. On Monday, the commission released a statement saying they are reviewing the controversial call made by referee Steve Willis in the 9th round. They also mentioned that technical difficulties prevented them from reviewing the decision earlier. Davis took a knee after Roach Jr. landed a punch, then went to have his face wiped by one of his cornermen. Referee Steve Willis began counting, as if he was calling it a knockdown, but then allowed the fight to continue. Currently, the New York State Athletic Commission is reviewing the incident from Saturday's fight between Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis. The commission explained that during the round in question, they requested a replay video, but a technical issue prevented them from receiving it in time. As a result, the referee's in-ring decision stood and the fight continued. The commission is committed to maintaining the integrity of combat sports and working with promotions and production teams to prevent technical issues in the future. Their goal is to ensure that instant replay feeds are always available to officials when needed. Lamont Roach Jr., the WBA junior lightweight champion, fought GervontaDavis for his WBA lightweight title on Saturday at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. If referee Steve Willis had ruled Davis's knee as a knockdown and the judges had scored the round 10-8 for Roach Jr., he would have won by unanimous decision. Eric Malinsky scored the fight 115-113 in favor of Davis, while Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman both scored it 114-114, resulting in a majority draw. I don't know, I honestly don't, but I can't go back and change it. Lamont, Sean Feldman, and Eric Malinsky scored the 9th round in favor of Davis, while Steve Weisfeld gave the round to Roach Jr. Protests in boxing rarely lead to overturned results, but if there were ever a case where that could change, this might be it.
I honestly don't know. I don't know. But I can't go back and change it, so.
Lamont. This situation has also raised big questions about the relationship between Tank and Calvin Ford. 6 weeks before the Lamont Roach fight, Davis said, "I got Calvin tattooed on me. Calvin ain't going nowhere. Calvin is Pops. He ain't going anywhere." However, Calvin Ford was not in Tank's corner for this fight, and the 30-year-old may have paid a big price, experiencing the first non-victory of his career. While Tank expected to have Calvin Ford by his side on March 1st, the veteran coach had his own reasons for not coaching Davis in this fight. Now, with the possibility of his draw against Roach being overturned to a loss, Calvin Ford has officially left the team. For a long time, fans were used to seeing Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis together. It was a bond like Mike Tyson and Cus D'Amato. If you look at more recent examples, it was similar to Canelo and Eddie Reynoso, or even Pacquiao and Freddie Roach. That's why the trio of GervontaDavis, Calvin Ford, and Kenny Ellis was so special to fans. But instead of seeing that familiar team, fans were surprised to see Barry Hunter in Davis's corner, a sight they were not expecting. One might wonder what caused this situation. Speaking with Fight Hub TV, Calvin Ford shared some insight. Davis
It's good with Calvin because it's the first time he's not the head trainer in a while.
Yeah, for sure. Calvin, again, I said.
fought in his second PBC Amazon Prime Video pay-per-view event, and besides the main fight, the Barclays Center hosted several exciting matchups, including 2 light welterweight title clashes. Like many others, Ford expected a great fight and was eager to see how Davis's training would translate into the ring. Since Tank is from Baltimore and Roach is from D.C., Ford recalled how often they had sparred in the gym. He respected Roach's work ethic and saw this fight as a great opportunity for him. Ford also suggested that people might be misinterpreting the situation, saying, "We're not changing anything." He explained that he simply took a step back, but that the training structure remained the same. The reporter also clarified that there is no breakup or falling out between.
He will always be around. You know what I mean? So that's pop. Like I said. So
They simply wanted to know if this temporary separation made their bond stronger, like how family members appreciate each other more after spending time apart. Coach Ford responded, "No, he came to see me. He told me to slow down and stop worrying about him because he knows I spend time with my amateurs. You both know me well. I always focus on my amateur fighters. That's my piece." Even though Ford wasn't directly training Tank, just knowing where he was and that he was staying disciplined reassured him. He admitted that being apart made them both appreciate their bond even more. When Davis returned to the gym, Ford could tell that the lightweight champion had missed him, just as
without me, without Calvin, it wouldn't be no me. You know what I mean? Because at first, when I came into the,
he had missed Davis. A similar sense of reassurance also came from Barry Hunter. Calvin Ford, Coach Barry, Coach Boogie, and Kenny will all still be involved, Ford said in an interview. While he and Kenny Ellis won't be in Tank's corner, he made it clear that they will still be around, suggesting it's not a major issue. Barry Hunter also reminded everyone that this isn't the first time there have been changes in Tank's corner. He has been involved with Tank since his amateur days and early career, so he is not new to the team. Like Ford, he pointed out that the internet often spreads misinformation, and people make assumptions without knowing the full story. He emphasized that Tank is like family, reassuring fans that this situation is likely temporary and that things may return to normal when GervontaDavis comes back in a few months.
You know, I went back and I watched it, and Tank lost that fight, period. And that's even without the knockdown, he lost.
Davis's habit of starting fights slowly nearly cost him on Saturday night. His WBA lightweight title defense against Lamont Roach Jr. ended in a majority draw, shocking the sold-out crowd of 19,250 at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. While Davis kept his title, it was a fight he would likely prefer to forget. 2 judges scored the fight 114-114, while the third judge gave Davis a narrow 115-113 victory. ESPN also scored the fight.
Didn't do enough work. I thought that Roach's game plan was.
Lamont is a great fighter, Davis said after the fight. He has skills, like I said before, and he has punching power. It was a lesson, and hopefully, we can do a rematch. In a strange moment that could have changed the fight, Davis unexpectedly took a knee in the 9th round after getting hit with a jab. However, referee Steve Willis chose not to count it as a knockdown for Roach. Davis later explained that grease from his hair got into his eye, causing him to kneel. The fight continued without any penalty, but if the knockdown had been scored, it could have given Roach the advantage. If the knockdown had been counted, Roach could have won the 9th round with a 10-8 score. Instead, 2 judges scored it 10-9 in favor of Davis. "I just got my hair done 2 days ago and she put grease in it," Davis explained. "When I started sweating, it burned my eyes." Roach didn't disagree with Davis's explanation, but made it clear that the rules should have been followed. "If you take a knee and the ref starts counting, it should be a knockdown," Roach said. "If that was scored as a knockdown, I win the fight. I'm not relying on just that moment to win, but I truly believe I did enough." Davis entered the fight as a heavy favorite, with many expecting him to earn his 29th career knockout.
I feel like Lamont Roach won. I definitely feel like Lamont Roach won. But a draw, like, it is what it is type shit, you know? I ain't hating on it.
Out by stopping Roach, who was making his lightweight debut. However, despite the pro-Davis crowd, Tank couldn't deliver the explosive finish fans were hoping for. Instead, Roach took Davis's hardest punches, stood his ground, and fired back with shots that stunned both Davis and the audience. Known for his patient fighting style, Davis started the fight slowly, waiting for Roach to make a mistake he could take advantage of. Roach refused to give Davis a chance to counter and kept pushing the pace. At first, Davis smiled and talked to Roach, but he quickly realized that his opponent was not going to fold under pressure. Roach Jr., 29, had faced Davis in the amateurs, but lost. When they turned professional, their careers went in different directions. Davis became one of boxing's biggest stars, while Roach built a solid reputation but lost his only other world title shot against Jamel Herring for the WBO super featherweight. Davis's rise to fame was cemented by his knockout victory over Ryan Garcia in 2023, a fight that helped him claim the title of the face of boxing. However, he nearly let that reputation slip away with his underwhelming performance against Roach. Their past fight may have given Davis false confidence, but Roach was fully prepared for everything Tank had to offer, including his famous knockout power. By the middle rounds, Davis's smile had faded as he realized getting the knockout wouldn't be easy. He started throwing more punches to create openings, but Roach stood firm and responded with counters and combinations. Davis focused almost entirely on body shots, landing powerful punches while Roach kept moving forward without hesitation. Whenever Davis slowed down, Roach landed sharp counterpunches. In round 8, Roach stunned Davis with a counter right hand. Though Davis was never in serious trouble, it was a clear sign that he couldn't fight recklessly. I felt like I was breaking him down as the rounds went on, but he kept coming, so I didn't want to make any mistakes, Davis said. I stayed cautious.
Great event. Great event. It was a great fight. They put in a fantastic performance. Both of them did, for real. Both of them really did put in a fantastic performance. It was a great fight, you know? All that good stuff.